Thank you.
No, don't thank me, thank you!
Just clear the playing area, please.
You ain't got a clue!
With an average of 7,000 referees quitting the game each year because of abuse, it came as no surprise that drastic action had to take place. The FA have tried hard to enforce a respect campaign in football, but is the campaign working? Not according to one former Premier League referee.
Well, it started off so well on the opening day of the season. I was at the game and the referees were calling the captains towards them, and they were talking through the captain about a player and getting a captain to be in presence when they were talking to a player. And it started off well, but it seems as if it's been forgotten. And as you say, gradually it's just gone back to the old days of players, the notorious ones and some not so notorious, chasing after referees after a decision, and precious little seems to be being done about it.
Since retiring from refereeing in 2004, Winter has become heavily involved in the media, and he believes the FA have not given the campaign enough clout.
I think the aim was an excellent idea. I did have my reservations at the start, because if you're going to have any campaign, you've got to be prepared to see it through. And I think that's probably where it hasn't been as successful as it could have been, that the FA have missed several opportunities, both with players and managers, that have stepped out of line, not necessarily against referees, but on many occasions this season against each other. They've missed out on the opportunity to really enforce the campaign and take some sanctions. It's a bit like being on a motorway. It's one thing having a speed limit, but if nobody enforces it, then people drive as fast as they like. And gradually, as this season has progressed, then the behaviour of players, the behaviour of managers towards each other, the comments passed about referees have probably just been as bad as they've ever been.
But here at the Lancashire FA, the Respect campaign seems to have had a positive impact. Previously, the problem was that they were losing too many referees and not recruiting at the same rate. But Referees Development Manager Eddie Wolstenholme believes that the campaign has helped with the recruitment of referees.
Well, it's in its early stages and it's in its infancy, obviously, but I feel for a county, for us, with the publicity it got from the media in its early stages, it's helped us, because we've increased our refereeing this year, our recruitments. We on basic courses last year we had over 500 new candidates, and I think we'll keep at least 250 because of the Respect campaign. Because the Respect campaign has got to be about making it safer and more enjoyable for people to officiate in. That's what it's about.
So it's been successful in terms of getting new referees on courses then?
Well, it's been successful in that terms. The long term, we'll find out in the later years how many we retain, but I'm very optimistic we will retain quite a number.
Wolstenholme, a former Premier League referee himself, was keen to highlight the potential long-term effect of the campaign on the county.
Well, one of the things is to recruit more referees, obviously, and by 2012 we hope to have another 400 officials, active officials. And also we have a school of excellence we run for 14 to 17 year olds. We have an academy 18 and above. We run a level 3, which is the contributor league referees. We have a scheme for them where we have a coach. We have a coach for our panel referees, level 2, and hopefully by 2012, besides improving standards and performance, hopefully we'll have some more officials in the national game, referees and assistants.
And courses like this at Lancashire FA's headquarters could help achieve that goal of getting more referees into the game. Neil Yates is an FA qualified instructor who coaches the participants on the course, and he also believes that the campaign has had an impact on recruitment.
I wouldn't necessarily say we've seen more. I think what we have seen is that there is a greater awareness now of some of the potential problems out there for young referees, and I think people who might have turned a blind eye in the past perhaps are willing to put their head above the parapet now and challenge unsociable behaviour. And I think what that's doing, that's giving the referees a better environment in which they can ply the trade, and if we can get them through those early weeks and months, then the likelihood is that we'll keep them.
The course itself aims to examine the basics of practical refereeing, such as being an assistant and running the line, and how best to judge that dreaded offside rule, as well as some time studying in a classroom. And Yates believes that the campaign is essential in terms of the future of refereeing in this country.
I think it's a great idea. It's got to work. If it doesn't work, then the death knell sounded for grassroots football in this country. I mean, we've got 28,000 referees on the weekend, 40,000 games. The stats just don't add up. We need to recruit more and keep more.
But has the Respect campaign affected any of the participants who are currently practicing refereeing?
Not necessarily, because it's not really something that bothers me. I know referees have had some abuse and things like that in the past, but it's not something that would concern me too much. But I think it's a good idea, and I think it seems to be working particularly in the professional game. I think
you get much less abuse from sidelines, as when it wasn't in, you got quite a bit of abuse. Parents or managers step onto the pitch and give you abuse, but now they step back and let you referee.
This, however, doesn't seem to be the case for one grassroots referee in Lancashire. Chris Newman referees Sunday League and university fixtures and is subject to abuse on a weekly basis. So is the campaign working at this level?
I wouldn't say grassroots, maybe definitely Premier League and Football League, because they know exactly what the referees want. But down on grassroots, I mean, the clubs haven't really been told like what they want to do and how they're going to do it. But so there's not been much, because when the referee is only allowed to talk to the captain, that never happens. So yeah, not much of an improvement.
So you would say that the Respect campaign hasn't really impacted
not at all.
Level,
not at all, really. No.
So you're still getting abuse on a weekly basis?
Yeah, definitely. Even today, one guy told me to F off basically, and that was it, straight in the book. And there's a few others which I let go, but they all add up.
So what changes would the 21-year-old like to see?
I'd say more like a charter to each club, saying what they've got to do, and maybe like sit down and speak to the players about it.
So we've got the views of the three tiers of football. In the Premier League, the Respect campaign started off well, but the impact seems to have not really progressed throughout the season. Yet at a county level, the Respect campaign has had a good impact, with young referees getting on more courses. But at a grassroots level, there seems to be no impact whatsoever, and abuse is still rife. What is clear is that the Respect campaign is going to take a long time until it has the impact it deserves.
But it's going to be even longer before refereeing becomes just a walk in the park. Samuel Van Gelder, UCLan Sports News.